There really wasn't much criticism or disunity in Christianity until Martin Luther kicked off the Protestant Reformation by literally nailing to the wall the radical doctrine that salvation comes not from priests, but by faith alone. His action shook the world so much, though, it led to bloody religious wars and persecutions between the traditional Catholic faith and the burgeoning Protestant denominations. It actually took the threat of Islam to bring the feuding Christians together with a treaty known as the Peace of Augsburg, but it contained some costly fine print.
It has a little Latin phrase in the treaty, cuius regio, ius religio, which means whose is the reign, his is the religion.
That phrase gave monarchs the right to impose their own religion on entire kingdoms.
You had to believe the way your king did. If you did not, you were persecuted and you fled.
The kings believed that they had a divine right from God to rule over their subjects. The subjects had nothing to say about it.
And monarchs took a ruthless approach in stomping out religious dissent.
You were burnt at the stake. You had your face branded as a heretic.
If you are a Christian, a professing Christian, but don't have the right doctrines, they will impale you, they will slit you.
If you were involved in baptizing an adult, you could be put to death.
Subjects also had to attend the state church.
Every Sunday they didn't go to church, they were fined.
Some tried meeting on their own.
Their meetings were raided and broken up.
You're all criminals. They'll bust into the home and arrest everyone.
It was disallowed to read the Bible in those days for yourself.
If you just try to put the Bible where other people can read it, we'll burn you at the stake.
England's parliament could be as controlling as the king.
Parliament is passing laws saying who can and cannot take communion.
Religion can be mean without Christ.
But through it all, Christian historians can trace the hand of God using whatever it took to propel those nations forward and westward. Like when Muslim conquerors who wanted to hurt those nations cut off the very profitable overland trading routes between Europe and Asia.
That gave the impetus for Columbus to set sail looking for a sea route,
which led to Europe gaining the New World. And Islamic attacks ended up sparking both the Renaissance and Reformation.
And all the Greek scholars were fleeing to Florence, Italy with their Greek art and architecture. We call this the Renaissance. But they also fled with their Greek New Testaments. And so this reinterest in the original language of the New Testament laid the foundation for the Reformation.
Some believe God used nature to alter historic events. For example, during the Battle of Lepanto in the 1500s, the commanders of Europe's Holy League turned to prayer as a huge Muslim fleet appeared ready to defeat them.
While they're praying, the wind changes 180 degrees. The Muslim sails go limp, and the Holy League sails fill up, and they crash in, and they capture or sink 200 of the 230 Ottoman Turkish ships.
Or when the mighty Spanish Armada was about to crush England and likely the rest of the Protestant world.
The hurricane came, and it smashed the Spanish Armada to pieces. Philip II said, "I sent my Armada to fight England, not God's winds and rains." Once the Spanish Armada sunk, the other countries of Europe are not as afraid of Spain as they used to be, and it's this mad dash to settle North America.
Among those settlers, the Pilgrims, who just wanted to serve Christ in their own way and had given up on England ever allowing them the freedom to do so.
And they wanted to pursue God.
A goal that laid the foundation for a new kind of country.
To my knowledge, no other nation has been formed specifically for the glory of God and the advancement of the Christian faith.
And a unique form of government, ruled by law, not by earthly kings.
God was to be the king, and the laws that the people would make was to be what they were governed by.
In other words,
government of the people, by the people, and for the people.
Now Thanksgiving Day, a perfect time to be grateful for what these pilgrims gave America, just as they were grateful for what God gave them.
Despite all the hardships, when the harvest came, they said thank you to God.
Paul Strand, CBN News, Washington.